What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning U.S. time. So come by and say hello. All right, I know it's been a couple of days, and this is coming in a couple of days later than I usually do, but I got hit like a freaking freight train a couple of nights ago and have just been out of commission, laying in bed and relaxing, trying to recover because I don't know what it was, but I was under the weather. You can probably still hear it a little bit in my voice, but I wanted to make sure that I got this out not too late, definitely before we got to the next town hall. And so here are my 5 biggest takeaways from the most recent town hall. Again, this is not a summary. This is just the 5 things that kind of stuck out to me that I wanted to expand upon a little bit here. There are awesome video as well as written content creators out there who put together fantastic summaries. So make sure you go out and support them and check them out. But I say we dive right in. And before we do that, I will say that I think we were all expecting Matt to be on the town hall. He wasn't, and someone mentioned that it might have been due to traveling, and that's okay. Because when you think about the major changes that went into play this week, it was the SPS ranked battle rewards. Yeah, there was governance stuff too, but they have actually spoken to that already. And I would say that the post was more into the finer details rather than the macro, right? And we had already been given, we knew this was coming. We knew exactly how it was going to be implemented, what the overall ramifications would be in terms of, DEC faucets getting shut off and, SPS kind of being split across the different areas. So the post that they put out over the weekend was really just the nitty gritty details. And I'm sure Matt will be on in a future one to go over specific questions, but we'll get into that maybe a little bit later in this video. So let's go ahead. I will give you my visual here so you can see exactly what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to start right with number 1 because there was a lot of hype around Splinterfest. Now, Splinterfest tickets are finally on sale, and this event is going to be happening in probably like 6 to 7 weeks or so. So here's the reason that I want to talk about Splinterfest, because there's a lot of content, there's a lot of stuff being discussed during these town halls about Splinterfest, right? The tickets are on sale. There's going to be tournaments. There's going to be giveaways. There's going to be potential land plots being given away. I just want to say that, even though I think there's like 1,000 tickets or less than 1,000 tickets, and the company, I'm not sure what their expectation is, if they're expecting to sell out of all of them, but even so, there's still like less than 1,000 tickets. That's like less than 1% of the entire player base. So it's not really relevant to everybody. And I just want to acknowledge that. But what I do want to say is that this is such a big monumental moment, an event for the company that I have to believe, and I'm not speaking from any kind of inside information because I don't have any, but I have to believe that there's going to be opportunities for those who are not able to physically attend Splinterfest to somehow be involved. So all I would say is, when all the Splinterfest stuff is being talked about, don't just tune it out, because there might be opportunities to get people who aren't able to make it involved in some way, whether that's giveaways, whether it's competitions, who knows what it ends up being. But I just wanted to put that out there because probably over the next 6 to 7 weeks, you're going to be hearing more and more about Splinterfest and all of the stuff that is being planned for it. So as that stuff becomes, more available or discussed in detail, I would definitely keep your ears peeled, if that's a saying. I would definitely keep your ears peeled and your ears to the ground, just in case there are opportunities for those of you who are not able to make it. Because I understand, like I said, it's less than 1% of the overall player base. So just want to put that out there to start off with, because they did spend a lot of time on Splinterfest, which again is exciting for the team, for the company, and for people who are able to attend. But I'm hoping and I'm hopeful that many of the, not many, but some of the things that they will offer will be for people who are not able to attend as well, just to feel like they're part of it. And hopefully, maybe you guys can attend next year, or if it's in a different part of the world, the next Splinterfest, and makes it easier for travel and all that good stuff. Okay, so let's go to number 2. Governance for SPS rewards is now live technically. And you can see here, they got some eye candy here. Is this what it is? Yeah, proposals. So you can go in and finally have your voice be heard. Now, the big things here is that only the Splinterlands team will be able to make governance proposals at the beginning, right? But anybody who has SPS staked, and even if you've never bought SPS in your life, and let's say you came in after the end of the airdrop, you're brand new to the game, just by playing right now, you can earn SPS, and it's already going to come staked as soon as you claim it. So as you play the game more and more, your voice overall in the game and the community starts to grow, right? So this I think is going to be really important. And there was one specific thing that Agrid mentioned about the way that SPS is being distributed now. I think specifically about the way that the pools were set up and how the modern and wild ranked battle pools aren't tiered in a certain way in order to limit the amount that, bots or bot farms in bronze can kind of farm the rewards. So I know that was being discussed quite heavily, and not that it's proposal yet, but Agro did mention that there were some changes being at least discussed, and if that does come to fruition and the team thinks that it's worth discussing or getting the community's opinion on, that could be one of the first things. And I think that we all have strong feelings one way or another on how that should be set up and tiered, so hopefully that we'll be able to start using our voice and our vote within Splinterlands to go in and make these changes that we think could be beneficial for the game and the community overall. So this is exciting. I know the team has been looking forward to this very much so. And so this is something that I think it's great that they have a V1 version or V1 of this out right now. And obviously it's going to continue to grow and evolve over time. But this is important. This is big. And I'm just excited about it, especially with validator node stuff potentially going live over the next couple of weeks. Speaking of which, let's actually go to number 3. According to Agrode, validator node rewards are set to go live 8/29, so just next week in the next Tuesday update. Again, if it's not then, he said it'll probably be the week after, but that is what they're shooting for. And if you remember, Yabamat way back when talking about the rewards for validator node licenses said that they wanted to get it out by the end of August, whether or not the software was ready. So we don't have any information on the software just yet. But if you do own a license or are planning to get one, the rewards for SPS, which I believe is like 3.375 million or something like that, it's like 90% of whatever the total for nodes will be. That is set to go live, so you'll be getting both vouchers as well as SPS. And if you haven't realized how important SPS is to the game just yet, definitely take a look at that and think about it. Now, we're not even going to get into the SPS price and value discussion because I'll save that for a different video. That's not what I'm trying to get at here. But as the game, and going back to my second point here with SPS governance, as the game continues to grow and develop, I think you'll start to see what having a voice in that will look like. So just something to keep in mind as we go further along. Okay, so let's go to number 4. Now, this is not technically Splinterlands related. This is GLS or Genesis League Soccer. But somebody had asked Agrode, will GLS have 2 tokens, similar to the SPS and DEC tokens that Splinterlands has? And he confirmed, yes, it will. So GLS is, at least sounds like it's going to be the governance token, similar to your SPS. And if, according to what they've said so far, ends up being true, where you will go in or you will receive GLS tokens as an airdrop for staking SPS, it sounds like just by having SPS staked here, your governance token staked here within Splinterlands, you will start to receive governance tokens within the other game. Now, how is that going to play out? I don't really know yet, and nobody knows, right? Because the white paper isn't out. I will say that it is a little surprising that they're going to have 2 tokens. I was wondering, I guess it's not surprising at the same time, but I was wondering if, because they had only mentioned a GLS token originally, if maybe they were going to try and get away from having, multi tokens within a game. But if they are going to follow the Splinterlands kind of template for the most part, then it makes sense. Now, I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know where the sinks and the faucets will be for it. Again, we don't have much information about the game, but I did think that that was pretty important to learn about. And again, we don't know if GLS is going to be, actually, we don't know if GLS is going to be the actual governance token. What if GLS just ends up being like the DEC of the new thing? I really don't think that'll be the case, so I'm going to put my prediction out here that GLS is probably going to be the governance token. And the reason that I say that, the reason that I say that is because GLS as a platform, so Genesis League Sports, will be using this governance token, or will be using the GLS token. So it would make sense that if there is an overarching token that goes across multiple different games within the same platform, right? So the first of it being soccer, but in the future, if they expand into baseball or football or basketball, whatever the case is, there will be one GLS token for Genesis League Sports. And then, well, I guess then depending on the specific games, I don't know if they'd have different tokens for, different, not governance, but like transactional tokens. So your different DEC for each of these different games. But again, I'm speculating way too hard here. I just wanted to share that with you because I thought that was something interesting. Again, I'm still going to be staking as much SPS as I can for all the benefits within Splinterlands, but I want to get as much within GLS as well, just because this is something that is a new venture for the team. This is an opportunity to get in somewhat on the ground floor of a new game that has an audience worldwide. And I know people are gonna crap all over the MLS and say, "Oh, well, nobody cares, nobody pays attention to the league." And sure, like, I understand it's not the biggest league within soccer/football around the world, not by any stretch of the imagination. But this could be the first step to getting into other leagues and other sports. And I think that is huge, especially if the team is able to knock it out of the park by creating an awesome game, right? Because right now, not many people play the whole fantasy trading card game, right? That's very specific and niche when it comes to a world of 7 billion people, right? Or 8 billion people, however much it is right now. I think there's like 10 million people who play Magic the Gathering and less than that who play Hearthstone. So out of 8 billion, 7 billion, that's not very much. But there are a lot of people that do have an interest in sports as well as specifically soccer/football. So even if they don't care necessarily about the actual league that these players are in, if they appreciate the gameplay and it comes from a place of having this affinity towards the sport, it could be huge to draw in people who don't necessarily care about the league, but like the game and have a crypto savvy kind of mindset to understand where and how this space is going to grow and want to come in, right? They wouldn't come in for something like Splinterlands, but they would come in for a soccer/football game. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. All right. And let's go ahead and just wrap this one up then with number 5. And that is, I believe it's confirmed. I mean, I don't know, but it sounded as though Nate said we were going to get roughly 500,000 pre-sale packs for Rift Watchers. Now, again, take this all with a grain of salt. Let's see if there's any Rift Watcher stuff here. Yeah, see, they didn't confirm it here, but I think Agrod said that roughly 20% was going to be pre-sale, and or he said at least 20% is going to require vouchers. At which point he assumed that was going to be pre-sale. So 20% of 3 million packs is roughly 600,000. But then Nate came in, interestingly enough, and said, actually, I think I heard it's going to be 500,000. So again, take all this with a grain of salt until we have an official post available. But I would say that it's probably safe to assume the pre-sale amount of packs will be somewhere in that range. I would say probably closer to the 500,000 than 600,000. But I had been talking about earlier if they were to do something similar to Chaos Legion, like Chaos Legion, it was 1 million out of 15 million total packs. Like that's less than 10% of all the packs, right? So it would like a similar ratio this time around. And I can't think off the top of my head, but it would have been less than 300,000 packs, right? That's 10% right there, probably less than 200,000 packs. But it looks like the pre-sale is going to consist of quite a bit more, anywhere between 500 to 600,000 packs, which means that vouchers could definitely come into play here. And if vouchers are only going to be required for the pre-sale, then we've already heard vouchers could potentially, there could potentially be a multiple voucher price tag in addition to the SPS required. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen, especially with the amount of vouchers that are currently floating around out there. Again, we don't have any voucher syncs yet. We don't have any, we keep hearing that stuff is coming, but I don't know if that's coming before Rift Watchers is supposed to go live, because at this point in time, Rift Watchers was supposed to be end of August. Then it got pushed back. It looks like it's going to be, I mean, we're essentially at the end of August already. So we probably heard mid-September. Now, can it be pushed back again? Absolutely. So you better not be making any bets that whatever you hear in a town hall is going to be for certain, right? You have to wait until there is a post. So just because they've said, right, just because they've said that it got pushed back to mid-September does not mean it's going to be mid-September. It could get pushed back to 2023 for all we know, right? Hopefully that doesn't happen, and I don't think the team will do that. I'm just being obnoxious right now. But the point being is that we've heard Rift Watchers, as with some kind of certainty since like June, right? June, July, August, now it's September. My point being is that if this doesn't get pushed back, and hopefully it doesn't, right? Hopefully we do get to see it in September. Well, at this point in time, I don't know what other voucher utility there is out there. There's nothing that's really snapping up vouchers off of the market. And the only thing that we've really heard is the Bloodstones and Power Stones. But Cryptomancer said that might still be a little while away because they want to get some other things in place first. So could that come within the next 3 weeks? Sure. Could other things come within the next 3 weeks? Absolutely. But until we hear that, right now, I'm still seeing a ton of vouchers kind of just out there in the market. And so I have to believe that any kind of pre-sale here is going to require more than just one voucher. Otherwise, it might just be a timing thing, right? Everybody's just going to come in and everybody's going to have the vouchers they need to buy the packs that they want. And they're just going to come in and do just that. So we'll see how this goes. But the flip side of this is the fact that if only 20% of vouchers, only 20% of Riftwatcher packs will require vouchers, it sounds like, and Agrid I think confirmed this, there's not going to be this like second weird phase that we had for Chaos Legion. It sounds like it's just going to go to open sale after that, which would mean we'd have anywhere, 2.4, 2.5 million packs available for Rift Watchers. And I do wonder how quickly those would be sold. So it doesn't seem like the team thinks they're going to sell out that quickly, in the sense that they're going to go all in a day, but you never know, right? So we'll see how this plays out. I just wanted to call out those specific things about the Rift Watchers kind of announcements or information that was given out. So other than that, there's some cool artwork and eye candy that was released. I don't think that there's anything else though that we really need to discuss from the most recent town hall. Again, it was good. There were some great folks from the team that got to speak, and I know that's not everybody's into that, but I thought it was a lot of fun, and I always appreciate hearing from other people within the team, and so I am excited for what the next couple of town halls will bring, because keep in mind, and I'm just speculating here, right? But keep in mind that we have. Let me go check my calendar now. I'm very curious to see. And so we have August 29th, September 5th. So we have 5 potential town halls. And I think somebody already called out and said that they probably won't have a town hall on the 5th because that is a holiday in the US. It's Labor Day here. So we have 4 town halls before the end of September. And I would say that at least 2 of these town halls should be accounted for, in the sense that one of them is probably going to be very Rift Watchers dominated in terms of the discussion, and the other one I think is going to be GLS dominated. Again, if they do stick with the timelines that they had originally proposed, where we get the white paper for GLS sometime in September and the launch of the game or the airdrop in October, then again, that's 2 out of the 5 weeks already. Plus, I wouldn't be surprised to have Matt come on and kind of discuss through this, although he might come on to one of the town halls that will be for like Rift Watchers and all that already anyway. So we'll see how this plays out over the next couple of weeks, but it looks like we have at least one more before a 1 week break. And then September should get real interesting. But that is all I have for you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you thought of the town hall, if there's anything that I missed or anything that you want me to cover a little bit more in depth. But otherwise, I will catch you all in the next video, and I will see you around the game. Take care.